So, hey guys, Chauzu here, and yeah, we're back with more Blitz farm. I've never stopped, I'm just continuing the stream now. So I'm going to try and do the final settings while I also try to play at the same time. I'm pretty good at multitasking though, so should be fine. Let's see if the chat works. It seems to work. Oh, this is an old one. Never mind. Let me find a new one. I thought I clicked on the live one. Okay, hopefully now. Well, it will hopefully show up soon. Sometimes it takes some time for it to get down. But yeah, we got some people joining already. We have Revo, Dazengecko, Leave Me Alone, and Kami. Welcome all of you. And you might notice I have a new team now. I'll talk about that in just a bit. It's very similar to the old team, there's just one big difference really. Let's see how I can get this text down. Maybe if I post something. It will come down eventually as we get more people. But yeah, the main reason for this team is so we have a faster wave clear. I did some tests and Roger, like Yamato's wave clear is actually super slow. It's slower than auto battling. And well, the non-AF competitive community, we're basically hanging out in similar chats and such. We did all notice that AF we're all using V2 Yamato cap. So while ending the stream I was actually thinking of how to implement that. So basically directly after ending the stream I just quit the run, made some changes and it worked out pretty well. I'm not sure if this is exactly like AF, but it's pretty good at least. The top guy from AF, which I presume is Rusi. Oh, it's closed. There we go. Yeah, this is full batch Sebas. But yeah, the only real difference in this team is that we have one fast wave clear, so we're talking a few seconds better speed. So it's not really a super big deal. Oh yeah, I need to post this to my Discord. There's a lot to think about. You can probably automate all of this, but that's also work, which I might do at some point. There we go. So yeah, it's basically the same. I just replaced that Kuja support for the Sora support on Sora Sanji. I know others used Hiyori on Roger Odin instead. They got a 1 orb for more damage. If you do that, you need to make sure you manually get rid of the block orbs, which is not a big issue. You just need to make sure you don't forget it. What best team do you have in Rumble? My default team nowadays is a Psy team. Otherwise, I try to counter colors, so strength versus dex, quick versus strength, etc. I feel like a lot of those are struggling though. Well, not strength nowadays, but I also don't have the new Luffy, so mine is a bit weaker. Quick is pretty solid now with Quick Slasher versus any strength team. But yeah, decks have a hard time hitting through more free spirit focused quick teams with Sorrow. Those are a real nightmare. It often ends up in a timeout. Like, you're never going to lose, but a timeout is a loss in normal PvP, so. Replacement for Toki. As I've said in my previous stream, I say it now as well. But I won't make any more teams, but I can give general advice for replacement. So for Toki, her only job is to proc Roger Odin EX, as well as removing 6 turns of special bind. So that's what you would look for in a replacement. Bobby says, hi Chow, how did it go? We can take a look at my rankings. I've struggled to keep up with the top guys. I have had pretty bad pull rate and my pace has been a bit slower. Nothing big, but it has been slower. So let's take a look. Let's look at the general stats first for the top contenders. Vladilena Milis, the guy from that small alliance, has done 290 rounds. Vicky Guerrero, which we presume is Urisi, has done 292 rounds. Two Shanks has done 291 rounds. LS, who is in the same alliance as me right now, TRA, has done 278 rounds. I've done 282 rounds. So, yeah, I've kept up decently, but I've lost a bit in pace, and of course my drops haven't made up for it. I should use Roger Odin first stage for orb reasons, but it turned out well this time. Oops, swapped first, but it's fine. I just used the EX next turn. Hello there, Jefferson. It's good team Whitebeard and Roger. Gravy, if you want good examples of PvP teams, join the subreddit Discord. They have a command for it that you can look at with like standard teams and such. I'm not going to give you teams here while I stream. Let's look at the actual rankings. Currently I'm 6th on global. Red Hawk is in the lead. The guy from Red Hawk, that Mr. MM Racing guy. So he's done really well. Vicky Guerrero 2nd. The Korean guy, a Korean guy 3rd. Two Shanks 4th. LS 5th, and me 6th. As for the global ranking, I'm 9th right now, worldwide. It's a bit confusing that, but we have the in-app ranking, which is the global server ranking, and we have the global ranking, which is the worldwide ranking. And honestly, the thing motivating me the most right now is the global ranking. Getting top 10 worldwide will be really cool, but it's still far from a certainty. We'll have to see how it looks like in like 18 hours or something. That's when I decide if I commit to it or not. That's a good effort, Bobby. Keep it up. It's good to take naps. We'll see how I do with my sleep. I listen to how my body feels, basically. Oh, that's cool, Jefferson. I wasn't sure if you maybe could have used the latest PKA team I did. With the... I say it again, Gravy. Join the subreddit Discord. Oops, I swapped early. The subreddit Discord has standard teams to look. I'm not going to be farming Blitz live on stream and start bringing up PvP teams. That's not gonna happen. You can keep trying, but it won't happen. This is mainly a stream to chill for people farming. If it was a normal stream, I'd probably show you a few of my PvP teams, but in this stream, nope. Need to swap one more time because of that. Not a big deal. I like the subreddit Discord mainly because you're always free to join my server, but my server is not really aimed at beginners. There are some who can help, but for very basic stuff, the subreddit Discord is better as a starting spot. Vanitas, yeah, you should definitely get the shopping missions to 50,000. You don't need to go beyond 50,000. I can explain it again, Bobby, but basically we noticed that the people from AF were using Yamato caps, so we were thinking about how does it work, and then I figured out how it probably works in my head and tried it out, and it worked pretty well. Basically, the benefit here is that we get a Roger Odin extra free clear. I'm not sure if they use some variant that lets you get 2 wave clears with Roger Odin, but that's kind of risky as well. You might end up with too many one orbs. With 1 wave clear, you can always try and stop the one orbs on the second turn. I did this again. It doesn't matter, I just need to remember to use the EX. But yeah, on this stage we use Yamato special, but what we realized with this comp is that Yamato does get the special back, so you just need 1 Yamato. So Roger Odin is better to have 2 copies of them, since they have the fastest wave clear, since no duo form shenanigans and stuff. Yamato wave clear is actually super slow. One, it does. Just check the rewards after 50k. It's basically bonus rewards. It's not anything valuable. So last Blitz, for example, I stopped at 50k myself. There was really no reason to go past 50k. Hello there, anonymous user. Yes, I'm back, Ego Soccer. With a slightly new team that I've been using for a few hours, working pretty well. I'm tearing on Treasure Cruise right now. Do you mean you're tired or that you're ranking? Ah, you're tired. Okay. That's fine. Empire Rumble is indeed a pain. But a pain we have to live with. Base Yamato is fine. My Yamato is not Limit Break expanded, so it's definitely fine. Anonymous user, I say the same that I did to Gravy. I'm not going to be able to show any PvP teams this stream since I'm ranking. In a normal stream, I'd most likely be happy to show some PvP stuff and such. But yeah, for this stream, there's not going to be any PvP. But if you want help, more basic help with the game, I do recommend the subreddit Discord server. Can always join my server as well, but it's more focused on more harder content. But there are some nice people who will help. I will usually not help myself. It would be hard for me to I can't do everything basically. I can't do videos and have work and then also help out beginners and stuff like that. So I do think beginners need more help though. It would be nice if we had some content creator focus on that, but it doesn't make sense for it to be me though. I'm already the one focused the most on harder content. It will be very weird for me to split that up with the easiest content. But yeah, for me it will make sense for someone like Toad or someone new to focus on stuff like that. I do know Toad does stuff like that occasionally. And the game does need overall better ways to teach the game to beginners, that's for sure. Ego Soccer says, confirmed fast or does it just feel like it? I've not timed it, but I just use common sense. Like if we think about the later stages, stage 3 to 6, it's basically identical, there's no changes. It doesn't make sense for it to be noticeably slower. So the question is, how about the first 2 stages? And when I timed auto battling is like 8 to 9 seconds, one stage. And look at Roger's special here. That's like 5 seconds, so should be around 2-3 seconds faster. So not a big optimization, but yeah, over time it adds up. I thought about that, Jefferson, but honestly, it will be such an undertaking. We also have the issues with the in-game rules, which prohibit stuff like that, I'm pretty sure. The one thing I can say though is that I thought about like, what if OPTC Global gets shut down and they don't move our accounts to JP or something? In that case, I could consider becoming totally free to play on JP and build up a new account slowly. Like, I definitely lose a lot of passion for the game in that case, but I'd also feel bad about losing all of my community, so yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, at least not anytime soon. But that's the only thing I thought about right now. Like, this team, even if it's faster, it's just marginally, so if you're not ranking super high, I wouldn't advise changing. It will just mess up muscle memory a bit, so not worth it, I'd say. But I felt I had to, if it is indeed faster. Ricardo says, is this the only game you play? Not really, but I do not play as much games anymore. I only have my Switch I game on. Oh, it stopped. There we go. So I did play Mario Wonder. I had a good time with it. Definitely my favorite 2D Mario since Super Mario World. So definitely not a perfect game by any means, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I also think OPTC is safe, but you never know. Like, the JP version is definitely safe, but you never know the priorities. I am looking forward for a few games though. The new Metro Prime for sure, whenever that comes. I'm also looking forward to Silk Song. Been waiting for that for a long time. I love the OG Hollow Knight. It's probably the latest game I 100%. Well, I guess I 100%ed Mario Wonder 2. But before that it was Hollow Knight that I 100%ed the last time. And that definitely was a cool experience. If the Silk Song gets announced properly, I'll probably replay Hollow Knight. But I guess it will be a shadow drop sometime. So hard to do that then. Vanitas, there's no news to say that Global is in danger, but if you look at earnings, Global is a lot lower than the JP version. It's not bad by any means, but who knows how corporations think. It's no reason to worry, but you never know what happens in life. Jefferson, I'm thinking about starting to play other games on stream. I just need to figure out with the overlay and such. Basically, my idea is I'd start with OPTC, play that for at least an hour, and then I switch over to whatever game I want to play. There is a game coming out very soon that I definitely want to play, so I might play it on stream, which is, well, 2 games actually. We have the Apollo Justice game, the remake. I'm a big Ace Attorney fan, it's my favorite game series. I do play them in Japanese though, but I guess if I play on stream I'll have to play it in English, otherwise it gets a bit annoying, I think. But it's fine to me. I prefer to play it in Japanese, but I can play it in English. Also, we have the remake of, is it Another Code with the girl? I'd also like to play that. Hello there, Artie. It's good. My day is fine. We'll see when the fatigue starts setting in. Somebody asked me about my plans with farming with sleep and such, and honestly I don't know yet. I'm waiting for the fatigue to set in, see how it is. The best will be to wait as long as possible before I fall asleep. But the thing is that my sleep schedule is also very intact. If I wait too long, it will be impossible for me to fall asleep. I'll just be incredibly tired. Jefferson, actually, when I studied Japanese, it was right before the release of the second Edgeworth game, and I made it a huge goal that for an entire year I was going to go die hard into kanji. That was like extra on top of the normal Japanese studies, because me and a friend felt like the Japanese studies were lacking, to say the least, and it wasn't much we had to do. So we made a hard training ourselves to learn kanji. And it was so cool because we just practiced kanji and learning words. We didn't do any reading or anything. And the Ace Attorney game was coming out just before summer. So I decided that during the summer holidays I'm going to be playing this Ace Attorney game. And I just started playing, and I had to remember that I was not fluent in Japanese before. I'd never really read anything in a way I'd say was fluent. I just die-hard practiced kanji for a year, and then I buy the game and play, and suddenly I can just read. I understand. It was probably one of the weirdest feelings in my life, like going from not knowing a language, training hard, and suddenly you can just read kinda fluently. Like, it was an insane feeling, and it was so satisfying. One of my best memories, and it's also one of the best Ace Attorney games for sure. Definitely top 3. Odashima, both work. This one is probably a bit faster, but it's marginally. So if you're using a similar team to the one I posted before, feel free to keep it. This is just me trying to optimize a bit extra. Yeah, JP is kind of rough. I guess the main benefit of being on JP is you get the JP gem packs, which is a lot cheaper, but then you have the issue of how do you even buy them. But yeah. How many languages do you know? I'm obviously fluent in Swedish. My English is also very good. Other than that, it's just Japanese, but I'm only really fluent in reading. I am okay at understanding what I hear. I'm terrible at anything I have to do. Terrible at writing, terrible at talking. Nihongo wa hanasu no ga totemo heta desu. Amari shinai kara. Yeah, I don't talk Japanese a lot, so I'm very bad at talking it. I would say though that my Japanese pronunciation, it's pretty good. It's just that forming sentences in my head, that's the main problem. It will help a lot if I listen more to Japanese. One problem with me or not problem, but one funny thing with me in Japanese, like, for example, I love Detective Conan. It's one of my favorite manga. So I've read the first 100 volumes in Japanese. And the fun thing with, if you read stuff like that, you learn a lot about what's called Senmon Yogo, basically specialist word that are just niche for specific subjects. So they have like special words for like the marks left around the neck when you strangle someone. Like, that doesn't even have a word in English, a proper word, but it has in Japanese. And if I see that in a newspaper, I know, oh, okay, somebody got strangled. So I can like understand stuff like that, which is like super niche. So yeah, it's all about like the experiences you had. Let's see if I can wave clear here. I removed the one orb. Yeah, we can wave clear. Baba says, I took Japanese as my college foreign language and it almost kept me from getting my degree. Like my yeah, it can be hard. Like when in Sweden, when you go to normal school, you're required to learn one more language or study one. So I wanted to be a bit special and went for French. And most people go for like German or Spanish, but I always like to be a bit different. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes in my life. French was such a pain. And for like 5 years, I had to really struggle keeping up with the language. They didn't even let me start over either, so it was super annoying. It ended up that in the second degree of higher studies in French, you had to do 2 courses. I made a deal with my professor that like I was going to get a failing grade. Like there are 2 types of failing grade in Sweden. We have failing it, and we have failing it, but you've not put in any effort. So I basically made a deal that I'm going to just go along. I've given up on getting a passing grade in French. So it ended up being one of my few failing grades in school. My other failing grade, which will forever annoy me so much, was in PE, physical education. The teacher there was a nightmare. I was injured for a few months. And then, like, a few weeks before we were going to get our degrees, the teacher just told me, like, you have to make these stuff up or I'm going to fail you. And it was a lot of annoying stuff like swimming. I love swimming now, though. Like, it was like go out in the forest looking for stuff, like, had to do all of that. But I did it. I didn't want to fail. So I did it. I handed everything over, and the teacher still failed me. I've never been so annoyed in my life. The thing is that in, like, I don't know what you can call it, high school in Sweden, like before the highest education, you can actually fail a few subjects. So me failing 2 subjects was no problem. You can fail a few without it having any effect. I won't say that my grades were the best, though. I can't say how hard German would be for me. It has a lot more familiar words, at least. That's for sure. I'm talking about 10th to 12th grade. Not sure if that's high school in the American context. So what you learn when you're like 15 to 18. The students I'm currently teaching are grades 7 to 9. But my education is actually for younger years, but it's special needs students, so there's a bit more leeway with like credentials and stuff like that I don't really want to talk about here, but in Sweden we have something called orientering. I don't know what it's called in other languages. Let me take a look. Orientering English. Nej, inte det. Not that word. Is it the same word? Oh, it's called orienteering in English. I doubt English people know about it. It feels like a very Swedish and Finnish thing. There's basically you run out in the woods and they hide a lot of stuff like markers, and you are given a map where they are, and you have to get to the flags and do like a mark with them to prove that you found them. And it's just a pain. It's for sure the worst thing I've ever done in school. I hated that so much. It was just the worst. I have very bad physical condition. Like Mainly it's because I have asthma. So running has always been hard, so I'm not really suffering from it. It's literally only if I run. Okay, I got a few good drops, so let's take a look at the standings for a bit. Okay, I need to clear manual here. I'm 5th now on the global ranking. I've gone ahead of LS quite a bit. Maybe LS is taking a break. I'm a bit behind 2 Shanks, but yeah, I've closed in a bit on number 1, so that's cool, I guess. Globally, worldwide, I'm number 8 right now. And top 10 worldwide will be amazing since you get a title for that. So I could have a Blitz title and a World Cruise title. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, as said, I think orienteering, as it seems to be called in English, is a very Nordic thing, especially Sweden and Finland. We have like World Championship for that. They talk about it sometimes, and it's always like a Swede winning, a Finnish winning. Like there's not a lot of variety. We have something called floorball in Sweden too, in the bandy. It's also very Swedish. There's not barely any country that plays it. I think Sweden wins the World Cup every year. It's basically, imagine ice hockey, but indoors, bigger goals, and instead for a puck you have a very small ball that you can dribble and shoot and such. That's floorball. It's actually super fun to play. I enjoy playing floorball a lot more than football. Not that I dislike football by any means, but floorball is just super sick. Oh, you played floorball in Portugal? That's cool to hear. Like if you are in a Swedish PE hall for like school, you will without fail find floorball goals, floorball balls, everything. CN asks, replacement new rear recruit. I can say what I always say when people ask that. The main purpose of Kinemon Toki, first we have the fact that they are part of Roger Oden's EX. So if you want to use the EX, you have to be careful with who you pick as replacement. If you don't, as for Kinemon, he removes 6 turns of paralysis. That's literally everything he does. And Toki, all Toki does is remove 6 turns of special bind. So start with that as a baseline and see what you can find. I sadly don't have any better advice to give. Yeah, handball is cool, very popular in Sweden. Not my favorite sport though, but it is a top 5 sport in popularity in Sweden. And it also is a bit of a worldwide sport, but I know that USA is not good at it. But we actually play some American sports in Sweden, but none of them are popular, except for hockey, but I wouldn't call hockey American. But stuff like American football, we have leagues for that. The final you can usually watch on TV, but nobody cares, I can say that much. Same with baseball and stuff like that. They are played, but nobody cares, basically. The media always tries to hype up the Super Bowl every year in Sweden, but nobody really cares about that either. I watched Super Bowl once in my youth. It's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. Have to stay up super late. And then it's just they try to throw the ball like 1 or 2 times, then there's a commercial, they do it again. Like, it's really a miserable sport. to watch. I would say though that Ice Shield, the manga anime, that's super sick though. Imagine if real American football was like that. Yeah, American football is super boring. Rugby though, that's actually super sick. That's like American football done right, I'd say. I'm actually playing really good and consistent right now, so that's very good to see. Despite keeping myself occupied, that's a sign of the muscle memory setting in properly. You barely have to think about the game, you just do it. Let's look at the stats for the last hour. Last hour, I've been a bit slower than my fellow competitors. I've done 21 runs the last hour. Two Shanks has done 24. Wiki Guerrero 23, so that's probably risky. And then we have one more guy, I think it's the number 1 guy. He's done 24, so he's keeping a good pace. You can also see the points people have gained here in this spreadsheet. Sadly I can't share it. I've got it in private from a friend, but I can share it verbally. As for points for the last hour, I have actually been lucky the last hour. I've done less runs, but I've got basically as many points, if not more, than my competitors. So that's pretty cool. The number 1 though has got more. He's been getting some good luck. As for run count, I've done 297 runs, 2 Shanks 307, what I presume is Rizzy 308, so Rizzy has dropped pace compared to 2 Shanks at least, not compared to me sadly. So yeah, 2 Shanks has really been on a roll. If I had to guess a winner for the global side, I wouldn't bet against 2 Shanks, he never misses, so to say. Super consistent, he doesn't always go hard, but when he goes hard, you know that he's a force to be reckoned with. Okay, let's look at chat again. Oh, the NBA. Unpopular opinion, but I actually don't care for the NBA. I don't dislike basketball. But I actually prefer to watch European basketball. It feels like it's a bit more tactical than the US basketball, which is more flashy. And I understand that it's not entirely true and that USA is superior. And if there's a World Cup and USA brought their best, they will easily beat everybody else. But I just prefer to watch it more. Not that I watch it a lot, but yeah, it's kind of fun to watch basketball, big tournaments, and watching USA and always cheering against them. I think basketball is a lot of fun to play though. At least throwing like penalty shots, that's super fun. Yeah, I don't watch any NBA. Only if it's some YouTube video that sounds interesting about it, then I might watch. Otherwise, zero interest in NBA. I was a real sports nerd for a few years. The fun thing is that until like 2004, I cared nothing about sports. I only had 2 sports memories before then. First, 1994. This is when Sweden got 3rd place in the World Cup in the USA. We beat Bulgaria in the bronze game. And people went absolutely nuts. I was on vacation back then. Actually at the same place I live now. We used to go here on vacation a lot. And I can remember the celebrations. I remember some random dude just picking me up and throwing me up in celebration. It was like super weird. Wouldn't happen today, something like that, but yeah. And then in 2002, I remember being out in a cottage from a family member. There being the World Cup 2002 in Japan and Korea. And it was like the game where Sweden lost to Senegal or something. I also remember that, but otherwise I didn't really care about sports. Zero interest. Sport is better in manga than IRL. That's true, actually. I love sport manga. I read all of them. Out of the manga I follow right now, a lot of them are sports. We of course have that basketball manga. I don't remember the name now, which is dumb because I have read it for years now. I know it's getting an anime soon. There's also a new golf manga, and the thing I like about sport manga is that you can make it good about anything. I've even read a lacrosse manga, and I don't think you can find a sport I care less about than lacrosse. But that was also pretty cool. But this golf manga is actually super promising. I think it might become my new favorite manga. I like all of the characters in it. Like, it's so important to have a good main character. Bro, Slam Dunk, that's probably the GOAT. Okay, it's not the GOAT. I want to tell the story about my GOAT sport manga. Some of you might have seen the anime at least. It was the tennis manga Baby Steps. Oh my god. That's probably my favorite manga overall. It's so good. Like, after the anime ended, there's a lot of more chapters. And the cool thing is that this guy, the main character in Baby Steps, he was super relatable to me because I was also like tried to play tennis, started late, but he like starts playing tennis super late, and he gets super good at, like, he just notices that by repetition in tennis you can succeed, and like, he just gets better and better despite not having the physique or anything. He just works harder than everyone else. But I loved everything about that. The rivalries. It has a great relationship with his friend who got him into tennis. And by the time the manga ended, he was just going to debut in the Grand Slam, and that, I feel, is very unusual for this sport manga. They usually just contain themselves to like the Japanese school stuff, but this started there and it goes all the way up to the top. But then randomly, just as the series was going super well, it was super exciting, it just randomly ended. Like, I almost cry just saying it. That was like, I don't cry a lot, but when I read it was ending, I cried like a baby. Like, that's the saddest shit. I'm still so sad about that. It was so good. But yeah, I like a lot of the stuff you mentioned. Slam Dunk, definitely my favorite basket manga. I want to check out the movie sometime, but you should probably read the manga instead of the movie. I don't see how you can do all of the final stuff in one movie and give it justice. Kuroko, I just rewatched it. I read it too as well. I do like it, but it's a bit like Prince of Tennis, you know. It starts a bit more grounded, but by the end it goes off the rails. Like, there's like something called New Prince of Tennis as well, and it's not even worth reading. Like, it's gone way off it went way off the rails there by the end. I think Kuroko is fine in the beginning and it's enjoyable throughout, but yeah, it does have some clear weaknesses. Definitely not my favorite. I also like Haikyuu, of course, but not sure what I should say. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad either. I'll definitely reread it in the future. Doubt it's something I watch the anime for, though. In general, I don't really like watching anime. I'm a manga guy, really. Yeah, tennis is hard. Tennis is very hard. I used to play it in a club, mainly due to Prince of Tennis, actually. He got me into it. But I never got good, but I can at least play it for fun now. Oh yeah, no, the manga I was talking about, I think I said, I don't remember what sport I said, but I'm reading it's a badminton manga. But it's in the weekly Jump. I don't remember what it's called, it's so good. I'm sure there's someone in chat who also reads it every week. What's SLF? Yes, Blue Box. Thank you. Blue Box is really good. It's basically a relationship / badminton manga. Lyric asks, how fast is one round with that team? I haven't clocked it. But one round should be around 2.5 minutes if done properly. And by one run, it's basically from the time you hit retry this run and the time you hit retry the next time. That's one run, basically. How we count it. Shangri-La Frontier, I've legit not even heard the name. But, yeah, sounds interesting. One manga I read recently, from start to finish, in just a few days, was Mashle. That was actually super good. Didn't think a manga like that could be good. But, yeah, it's probably the best, like, battle type manga I've read for a while. That was super good. One day I will try and read Jujutsu Kaisen and such. I've skipped some of the more mainstream stuff for whenever I feel like reading them. Yeah, Mashle was super enjoyable. And it ended like in a good time too. It didn't overstay its welcome. Yeah, sure. I'm open to trying stuff. Oh, Rosario Vampire. I read Rosario, or I was watching the anime of Rosario Vampire when I was like 12, so you can imagine that that left quite the impression on me as a young boy. I can't speak about the anime since I barely watch anime, but the Mashle manga, it was just... the comedic delivery was always on top. The author did a great job on that. I love the Harry Potter stuff in general. Well, the taunting Harry Potter. I was a big Harry Potter fan growing up. And I don't want to get political in these streams, but I can just say that right now I'm kind of just ignoring all Harry Potter media. Yeah, I've seen that the Rosario Vampire manga is available on Manga Plus. I bought a month of the extended plan just to read it, so I saw the Rosario Vampires there, so maybe I'll read it before it goes out. It will be a bit nostalgic for me, since last time I consumed that was like so many years ago. Yeah, I also read Mashle in just a few days. I couldn't stop once I started. Which Legends is the best, Sorosanji or Yamato or Roger Oden? I'd say it's pretty clear, the order. Sorosanji, then Roger Oden, then Yamato. Yamato is a bit of a wild card though, since Yamato excels in certain type of content, especially Super Boss. While Roger Oden is just solid and usable in basically everything. But also a bit hard to use. We can talk about that or Cordon. We can wait for the next round to talk about it. I already done it a bit, but we can do it again. Let's see my ranking right now. Still 5th place on the global server. I've caught up a bit to 2 Shanks actually. And I'm honestly not that far behind the pack, so that feels pretty good. And globally, I'm rank 8 still, so that's cool. We're lucky that there's only 2 JP players who is going all out. Got a lot more points there. Let's update right away to check. How close am I now? I'm 45 points behind 2 Shanks, 50k behind Ricky Guerrero. But yeah, the team here, I can wave clear with Roger Oden stage 1. This is a lot faster than the Yamato wave clear, which is actually slower than auto battle. So this should save like 2-3 seconds, and the rest of the run is basically the same, so that's the time save with the team. But if you've already got muscle memory for the other team and you're not going for super high rank, I don't recommend changing team, just keep going. I'm aiming a bit higher so. JP players in general are super overrated. I don't understand the fascination some have with overplaying how good JP is because they legit are not. JP server is infinitely bigger than global, but in recent years global consistently outperforms JP on average, and the only reason we have some JP winners at all is the fact that they have the advantage of super low lag. Like if Global and JP had the same lag, Global would dominate even more than it already does. So yeah, JP are super overrated. At least right now, before Global were kinda sleeper from what I've heard, but starting like 2-3 years ago, Global server has gone super try hard with a subset of the community that just doesn't seem to exist on JP in the same way. But yeah, Global has got an insanely high amount of grinders now that are legit good, legit fast, that can just play like machines. Global is super laggy, so it's amazing that we can do as well as we do. Like JP people get a few seconds advantage every single round, so they should basically be dominating, but there's just not that many going hard. So we're lucky in that sense. Like it's pretty insane that I'm 5th on the global ranking right now, but on the worldwide ranking I'm 8th. You'd think that there will be a lot more JP people, but there's just not. The top 2 are JP, but as said, they have that incredible advantage. It's only natural. Not to diminish their effort, because they are putting in a real effort too. But it's not an even playing field, if we put it like that. We can't compete if a JP player plays optimally. That's basically the gist of it. Like, I'm part of some tryhard groups, and there's like, I think that's the main advantage Global has over JP. It's the fact that on JP, I get the impression that they don't really care about the alliance aspect. But in Global, the alliance aspect is incredibly huge in motivating each other, pushing each other. Like, the rivalry between the alliances, like, that pushes a lot. Are the supports the same as before? Let me try and remember what are the supports. I know there's 2 supports. Basically, the support I changed was the one I had on Yamato. Oh yeah, we have Nami still, but it's on Kinemo now. And on Zoro Sanji, I have the Sora instead, to get a matching orb final stage. This won't hit KO unless you have a high investment Sanji Zoro like me. But you can also put Hiyori on Roger Oden. You just need to make sure you remove the block orb before final stage, which is definitely doable. You can easily remove it stage 5 without losing time. So Hiyori and Roger Oden is the better one. Hello there, Easy. Welcome. Yeah, I've only been streaming for a few months, but obviously I make a lot of One Piece Treasure Cruise videos regularly. Oh, Artie also got Blue Momo from Red Ticket. I know Revo also got one. I'm pretty sure it was. I'd also love to get Momo from a ticket, but I can't complain. Like, I got Kanjuro and V2 Uta from a ticket today, which was absolutely insane. Yeah, Bobby, sadly, there's some discrimination to beginners in alliances because it's so important. For Manny, the bounty aspect. I don't really care about bounty myself, but for Manny, you can get excluded for that. So it's a shame they added bounty. It doesn't really add anything to the game. Makes people focus on the wrong things. That feel bad for us, but could have been worse. Could have been completely useless. But I guess Kizaru Fujitora are close to the useless anyway, so. That's cool, Israel. I'm glad you have a team. Yeah, that Quick Law Robin has seen some really good use, both in PKA and for this. Definitely the best batch unit from the December Sugo. Speaking of the December Sugo, it still amazes me that they used up a lot of the logical legends for New Year. And they still managed to do a Wano Sugo Fest for New Year. I'll probably never forget that because it's just so dumb. Let's see how my speed has been last 10 minutes. It says my speed has been bad, but I don't feel like it. It might have been unfortunate timing. Because my speed has basically definitely been decent. But I'm still losing a bit of time regularly. I'm impressed by the level of consistency the rest have. I feel I'm decently consistent, but the others blow me out of the water, basically. At least so far. Yeah, the cross skill was such a missed opportunity. And who knows, it might as well just be a filler treasure map Sugo now, or whatever it is. Won't be the same as a cool Super Sugo batch based around it, but yeah. I'm over it now. Selim asks, what's your goal for this Blitz? I can repeat again what I said before. If I had to wish something, if we say what I care about, because I don't care about everything, like top 20 on the global ranking, don't care at all. Might as well finish top 100 in my opinion. So what I care about two things. I'd care if I could get top 3 on the global server, or if I could get top 10 worldwide. So far I'm top 10 worldwide, which adds a lot of motivation to me. But of course in global I'm trailing, but top 3 global, pretty hard. So basically what I've decided is I'm going to go as hard as I humanly can until like 17 hours from now, something like that. At that point I'm going to decide, do I go all in, try and rank as high as possible, or do I give up there, settle for what will be probably like top 20, top 50. Like there's no top 20, it's top 10 or top 50. So probably top 50 at that point. We also have the aspect of the alliance ranking. We can take a look at that. My alliance TRA is actually doing really well. We are actually catching up to Assault Force. We're just like 600 points behind, something like that. So if we can beat Assault Force, that will also help me, motivate me to try and go harder. That would be really cool because they are definitely going hard. There's also a Japanese alliance doing pretty well in the alliance ranking. Worldwide, we're actually second worldwide as well right now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, the TRA guys are doing really well. As said, we have LS ranking right next to me. Behind that we have EFO. He's just a bit behind. We have Garens, he's past 1.3 million. Sender Nuds, he's almost at 1.2 million. Then we have Antichristo, he's also almost at 1.2 million. Yamato, over 1 million. Bali, over 1 million. Tritridu, over 1 million. And we have someone, I don't know who it is, also passed. So everybody are over 1 million, that's super impressive. And it's not like it's the dream team for TRA either. Like, there are other higher ranked ones on the ranking, like we have Two Shanks for example. He is TRA, but he's part of TRA 3, he's the leader for them. So if he joined normal TRA for this alliance instead, we'd have another boost from that basically. But I said this before about TRA, that they don't really want to change alliances too much. I won't say I'm an anomaly, but I'm probably one of the few TRA members that are basically alliance-less. I have no home alliance. So I've been in every TRA main alliance, TRA 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll see where I end up in the future. Like maybe they will want me for the upcoming Kisuna. I don't know. So we'll see. Selling Charisma says, so no sleep today, or how many will you sleep? Basically, I haven't decided yet. We will see how my physical condition gets. If I sleep, it's good to wait as long as possible. But if I wait too long and it starts to get morning basically, then I doubt I'll fall asleep because I have a very set sleep schedule normally. I will say though that it's past midnight for me now and I'm still not close to tired. So that's pretty dope, I guess. We'll see how I feel in like 2-3 hours. That's cool, Bando. Good luck on the top 500. Sadly, top 500 doesn't give much of in terms of special rewards from what I remember. It's basically top 1000 and the next big score gap is like top 100, which is obviously a lot harder. Yeah, that's time zones, Artie. For me, it's past midnight. And I'm the kind of guy who has basically the same sleep schedule every day, so stuff like this is not normal. If I pull an all-nighter during this Blitz, which is not decided yet, we'll see what happens. It will only be like the third time ever in OPTC. And I don't think I've ever done a one all-nighter except for OPTC. So it will be my third time for OPTC and third time in my life. Like in my youth, I have never did an all-nighter. Never for New Year or anything. The first all-nighter I ever did which was when I won Treasure Map Frankie. Oh, that was so hard. It was a bit easier the second time, but it's definitely not a healthy thing to do, and nothing I'll do with any regularity. Yeah, I can see that, Bobby. I'm pretty good though. I still have like over 600 meat, so. Yeah, top 100 gets 2 keys. Yeah, there might be some gem increase bound though. It's going to be really whaley to say it, but I rarely keep track of the gem reward difference. Gems are just not that super valuable to me. Kiltron says, hey chat, hey Chow, is the World Cruise event only on Global Annie? World Cruise has only happened once, which was indeed for the Global Annie. And it sounded during the event that it will become an annual thing, so I'm kind of assuming it will happen. I'm hoping at least. So we'll have to wait and see. Salim Karesma says, do you support any football club? The first football club I supported was Portsmouth in England, because they were part of a book I liked as a kid. In Sweden, I supported Elfsborg, but I have no idea why I did that. Nowadays, I don't support any club. I've kind of fallen out of liking modern football. I basically only watch national games now with the national teams, but Sweden is garbage right now, so yeah, I barely watch anything with them. But I like qualifiers, and if there's a hype qualifier, I'll watch it, even if it's Sweden or Norway or Faroe Islands. Like, as long as there's a good story behind the game, I'm definitely up for watching it. But I'm super disappointed by the changes to the World Cup and stuff like that. The new group stage system in the World Cup looks like absolute trash. Like, it's going to be very weird watching that. It didn't help that the last normal World Cup was in Qatar as well in the winter. That just ruined everything. So that also helped push me away from football. Jefferson asked about the next TM. Will I farm? Undecided. I'm not sure. Well, I always do at least 100. I've only not done it once. The funny thing about when I didn't get top 100 in Treasure Map, it was because of F099. It released, I tried it, I had so much fun. Then I started playing that a lot. And then I just ended up like giving up on top 100. Thanks for reminding me, Babby. After this stream, I'm going to get another cup. I'm pretty sure. I actually forgot about drinking coffee in the morning, which actually might have been a good thing to not consume too much. After the last stream, I had 2 cups of coffee. So it's probably going to be good to get a bit more. Another thing happening right now to me is that I have my yearly trying to get to eat healthier after New Year. And the results have been up and down. I always try something new to make it work. My plan this time is that as much as possible, I don't enter any store to buy food, because that's when I get tempted to buy sweets and stuff, which ruins everything. So I'm sure you've seen that I eat a lot of UL. It's just a coincidence. I've tried it. It works for me. So I've been trying some of their other stuff. Like for dinner today, I took this like canned food where you just add water. Like it's not the best, but it fills my stomach and is supposed to be good. Damn. My first mistake in a while. Used Tokyo on the wrong stage. So I'm also trying to not drink any Pepsi Max, otherwise I'm a total addict. I basically, for like years, I basically don't drink water outside of like when I'm at work. When I'm at home, I just drink Pepsi Max, and I realized that that's just dumb. So I'm trying to both eat less and not drink any Pepsi Max, and it actually has done good. Usually when I draw this, I get severe withdrawal. But I haven't had any withdrawal yet. It's super weird. I don't understand, but it's very promising. So that's also like a bit of a thing. I'm not sure how my diet today will affect like how much energy I have, how tired I get. Will it actually be a benefit? I have no idea. Let's check the leaderboard again after this one. Can also check how many of you are watching. Basically, now the score is updated, so now I can refresh and check ranking and such. Average drop, oh well, less than average drop. I'm still 5th on the global ranking. I've fallen behind a bit more, behind 2Shanks. Maybe he got a good drop. Almost the same to Wiki Guerrero though. But I still feel like it's not a too big gap. I guess the Korean has got a big advantage. Maybe also got some good drops. Worldwide though, I'm still 8th. Let's see where the guys below me are placed. LS is 10k points behind me, so he might pass me during the stream. So we have TRA at 8th and 9th worldwide. That's pretty cool. At 10th place, we have a JP player, Ham Yai. And then at 11th place, we have a JP guy. I'd presume Bundesnoob. I'm just not sure who is which. Logically, one is Rissy, one is Bundesnoob. They are like the only ones that really stand out in stuff like this. Another bad mistake. Okay, I need to try and focus now. We're getting bad mistakes again. Bobby, yes, in terms of health, Pepsi Max is good. But the bad thing is for like dental health and such. But that's all soda. Otherwise, I'm not one of those who are like anti the non-sugar sodas. To me, that sounds like a giant like... not sure how to say it. It sounds like some sugar industry trying to affect things. Like, I'm a big believer in the alternatives to sugar. I've used a lot of them. They are super good, but we have the sugar lobby working against them. It's just insane that it's allowed. J-Man, this team should be marginally better. It's not better enough that you should change if you have muscle memory and such. One good news is that it's not as cold now. I'm not freezing in my arms anymore. So that's a positive. Gautier asks, are you gonna make new Givi teams with new units and older Givi? As for the New Year Legends, well, I've done it with Roger Odin. They have one Givi. I made teams with them. I made use Zoro Sanji and V2 Yamato for Grand Voyage Kuro. Not Kuro, but Morgan. Might make more teams for that, but there's been some good teams made already, so we'll see in the future. But I have one Grand Voyage team done that will go up next week probably. It's a Super Shugo Kaido team versus Luffy 2 Grand Voyage. I'm probably gonna do a stream next week too, because Nitro Sage has made another big brain Grand Voyage team, but he can't beat it himself. He lacks some support. So I'm gonna do like last time. Nitro Sage had a team he couldn't make. I'll do a stream with it, basically free content for me. And then I record it for him, and he can upload it to his channel. So it's basically win-win. I get content to do on stream that's interesting. He gets the video of the team he made. Yeah, we need more Grand Voyage, but I think it's pretty obvious why I don't upload more Grand Voyage. It's because of the time investment. Like, any new level 5 Grand Voyage team that isn't against one of the easier Grand Voyages, it's a much more time investment than any other content I make. But it's also the content I consider the most prestigious, so I am keen to upload it somewhat regularly. And like when there's new Grand Voyages or you can do something new, then that's also prestige and worth putting time in. Like, a lot of Grand Voyages has like stuff that I think are like the next thing to achieve with that Grand Voyage. So I always try and keep in mind, can I do this now? Is this possible with the units we have? Try and find new strats. But yeah, Grand Voyage are pretty slow steps. Yeah, I know a lot of people want the Garp challenges back. I only want them back if we get new ones as well and not just reset the normal ones. Kish, in terms of maxing out a ship. I don't want to give too specific advice. The first thing I'll say, make sure you have like 40, 60 Super Cola first, so that you have some in reserve in case you really need something else. But in terms of good beginner ships, we have Ho, of course, if you care about experience. And as a bonus, you also get a -2 CD ship. And as another bonus, you also get an ore boost special that will surely see use for mainly Pirate King adventures. Then we also have the Tesoro ship, which helps you farm the berry you need to upgrade ships. And it's honestly just one of the best ships in general as well. Other than that, Mary is solid. You can't go wrong with the -2 debuff ship, like Forest has done great use with Coated Sunny. We also have some Mary ship for -2 Despair, which I'm also interested in since I don't have a Despair resistant ship. But yeah, I guess those are the safer ones to recommend. Yeah, Givis should be 0 stam. I don't know why they have stamina for that. Yeah, Givi can be hard, baby. It's not just about having the units, you also need like investment, maybe a lot of CC, stuff like that. I have to stop making these mistakes. It was going well for a while. Using the special on the wrong stage is such a costly mistake. There we go. I'm going to get some water after this run, so we're going to do one run where I auto-battle the first 2 stages. A bit slower, but I need to get my water. I see I've got some questions. I'll answer those after I got some water. That's really low points. Okay, getting ready to get the water. Okay, perfect. Artie asks, what characters would you like to have a legend? The first one that comes up on top of my head will be like Calgara Nolan legend, since that's my favorite flashback. And we got so baited a few years back with the Calgara Nolan PvP re-recruit because we got the artwork leak first from Shonen Jump before the in-game downloads. We didn't know what it was, but the artwork looked really good. So we really hoped, and it was such a letdown that it wasn't a legend. So that would be cool. I also think a unit like Otohime should get a unit, and I think that will be a good fit for a legend. Like if Toki can have like 2 legends, surely Otohime can get a legend. It would be very cool to have a batch with like Otohime, Fisher Tiger. Like that would be more hype than most stuff we're getting. Vanit asks about the next Rumble Sugo. It's probably worth pulling if it's a good one. I think the upcoming PvP Sugo is very bad though. You should not pull on it. It's actually pretty awful. I will pull just because of Apu. But the new ace is bad, the boosted rare recruits are bad. There's nothing good about it except for Apu being boosted, and Apu is not really a meta anymore for PvP. Would I like to see some crossovers? Sure. I'll take any content. I'm not one of those who will feel like it's, oh, how can you? This should be pure One Piece. Like, I don't really care about that. I'll take crossovers. I don't think it will happen, but I take it. It's a manual tap. Oh, that didn't kill. Well, I got lucky. Yeah, I can't recommend pulling on the PvP Sugo, but if you want to, I can stop you. Like, I'm going to do 3 multis myself, so... Not tomorrow, though. We're focused on the Blitz. I'll have my PvP multis up sometime next week. Maybe Tuesday or something. And I wouldn't mind a Legend Foxy. To be honest, I'll say what I always say, that I actually don't mind the high amount of legends we got. Like, there's no rush to pull them right away. They just add value for the next time you pull. And usually Bandai are pretty good with being creative with the legends, so I don't mind. Yeah, PvP is super unfriendly for new players. And I'm not saying you shouldn't pull, but if you want to be picky about what PvP stuff to pull on, then this isn't one to pull on. You can also do the strategy you always do. Maybe 3 multis every Sugo. Like, that could be okay. PvP Sugos are one of the best in the game after all. In general, in terms of step-ups. But the race to get the specific rare recruits you want, you're not likely to get any of them, but you're likely to get maybe 1 of them if you do a few pulls. Oh, I used this early. Let's roll with it. Let's see what happens. I'm sure I can adapt. One orb is unfortunate. I think I'll do this. This should let me repair this. And we can swap back. So that mistake cost me 2 extra swaps, which is not that bad for a mistake. It wasn't a reset at least. Swap back, and we're back to status quo. Yeah, one game multis are dead. Can you believe that we had New Year Super Sugos before with 1 gem multis? It really feels like a different time. Yeah, Bobby, it's a problem with Sugos in general. The only mode Sugo who does it right is Treasure Map with the 3 parts. Most legends are always boosted, but they need to move to that with PvP and Kisna as well, so we can have the legends available more frequently. What happened to Yoshi? No idea. Agim Lamar asks, who do you think is coming in the next treasure map? My guess is that we're doing the Island of Women conflict. I don't remember what that island is called, but the Kudia conflict. So I can see a Legend Ray League maybe. And together with Legend Ray League, maybe we get a Boa unit and a Blackbeard unit. We'll see. Treasure Map Recruit, that is. That's my default guess, but it can be a lot of things. Last January we had a totally random treasure map. The only small connection, like the treasure map we got was Skypea. And the only connection that was possible to see was like Nami and Anol, but that to me is a very far-reached connection. Amazon Lily, yeah, thank you. Could be Boa versus Blackbeard, but I don't dare guess versus Legends. They happen when they happen. You can't predict when they happen. Hero Kobe recruit? Maybe. I feel like we just got a new Kobe though. And we're probably getting more Kobe this year, so. But of course, rare recruit is not the same thing as a Legends. You can always get a rare recruit. I still feel it's pretty recent. Same reason I'm not really expecting like a Shanks, for example. But yeah, this year is going to be really cool in terms of batches. It's probably going to be banger after banger in terms of like hype moments, because there's going to be so many hype moments in the manga. So it's going to be really a fresh year after all of the Wano spam. And it doesn't even have to be just egghead spam either, which is the best part, because we still will be jumping around a bit. Yeah. No reason to get Blackbeard yet. Except for maybe like a Trash Map recruit. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what the Trash Map is at least. It could be so many things, and as I said last year for New Year, Trash Map was completely random, which is always cool because most things in the game in terms of batches make sense. But Skypea last year it made no sense, which is cool in its own right. Yeah, Blackbeard with the int-driven powerhouse. It's a certified classic. I hit with the wrong unit, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, who knows when they do the Seraphims? They could happen anytime. I personally think they will wait a bit longer for Seraphim batches, and who knows if they deem them to be legend material or not. Oh, God damn it. I'm losing a bit of consistency right now. At least I restart right away. The worst thing to do if you mess up is to go like, oh no, what do I do? How do I repair this? Do I just go on? No. If it's a big mistake, just restart immediately. You take the L, but you get in again as fast as possible. Okay, let's use the right special this time. Let's see how I'm doing ranking-wise right now as well. On the global server, I'm still 5th. It looks like the guy from AF is losing pace a bit. But still, I'm still 50k behind. I've dropped a bit more behind 2 Shanks. And the Korean player keeps playing well, but I've not fallen more behind since last time I checked. But yeah, finishing top 3 on global feels like a pipe dream, honestly. I don't think it's super realistic at this point. So the 2 main things that could motivate me is the global ranking, where I'm 9th now, so I've dropped a bit. The Hamjai guy from JP passed me. Behind me we have LS, of course. He's caught up a bit with me. I was ahead of him a long time, then he caught up with me. Then I got some lucky drops, I pushed through again. Now he's caught up again, so he's probably also going to finish ahead of me if he puts in the effort. And that guy from AF has also caught up. That's Steve Austin, which I presume is Bundesnoob, who goes hard in every single event. And behind that there's some JP people and some others. Let's see the Alliance ranking as well, since that's also interesting. Basically the same difference between TRA and AF. Maybe we drop behind a bit now, which is a shame, but what can you do? Oh, that's cool, Lamar. Pulling Uta. That's very lucky. First Uta, now Momo. Yeah, that's super lucky. Congrats. Yeah, it's a shame they dropped the Neo Legends. I'm very sad that they dropped like the raids with ambushes. I think ambush is a great format where you have to build for 2 content at once. Especially when they have some overlap. So it's a shame we only got a few of those. We had 2 raids. We have CP9 and Kaido, right? Yes. And we also had a few point events with ambush. It was like the V3 Soren with Kaido batch with Killer, but not Killer, but when he had his alias. I don't remember the name. And that was actually a really cool content. We also had a Christmas point event. with Hina and Kobe. That was also super fun. It had a really cool ambush with tons of paralysis and stuff. So yeah, ambush is very cool, but it's dead. WWE is AF. They like to do theme stuff. Sometimes, at least. TRA are a bit more boring in that aspect, but I don't mind it personally. I'm also a bit of a boring person. But I always say this about TRA. Definitely the best alliance I've been in by far. I have no interest in leaving. Like, I legit don't have any complaints after like half a year now in TRA. And I'm very easy to find things to complain about. Like, one thing you guys might not be aware of is the fact that the personality I have in videos and stream, it's very similar to my IRL personality in being very Swedish, very modest, polite, stuff like that. But I have a different internet persona where I can be super aggressive and such. I don't think that's super uncommon, especially among Swedes. Like, we take out the frustration we build up in real life and unleash it online. So I'm one of those persons. So online, in Discord and such, I can be super aggressive, seek conflict, call people out, all of that. But in TRA, I've never had to do that. Yeah, it's soon 1 a.m. for me. But yeah, I'm not that tired. You know that, like, Hulk quote, like, I'm always angry at that. It's the same thing for me, but with tired, like, I'm always tired. I live on a bit too little sleep, which might sound unhealthy. But let me ask you this, what is the most unhealthy? Is it to sleep a little bit too little? Or is it to have a constantly changing sleep schedule because you decide, like, I want to sleep like 8 hours, but then I can't fall asleep, so I end up being up to 3 a.m. But if I have work at 8 a.m., I only sleep like 4 hours. Like, it doesn't work well in practice. It's much better for me to sleep a bit too little and have a consistent sleep schedule thanks to that. You thought I was French. Not sure if that's a compliment or something rude. Like, just kidding. Like, take advantage of the reputation French people can have. French people are cool. Yeah, people can have the sleep schedule they want. If it works, it works. But yeah, this works for me. But yeah, the perfect amount of sleep for me personally is like 6 hours, give or take. That way, I'm not too tired that I can't function properly. But I've also not slept enough that it ruins the next day. Because if I sleep too much, I can't fall asleep. I stay up super late. And like most working adults, I have to get up in the morning. It's not realistic, so I end up sleeping super little. What rep do we have? Not sure what you mean by rep, Luffy Senpai. That sounds pretty interesting, Bobby. Feel free to elaborate if you feel like it. Let's see how many are watching. I was going to check that before. It's a very weird time for me to stream. Actually, 77 people watching. That's huge. I was not expecting that. Ah, you're talking about French. The French reputation. Yeah, that was mostly for joke. But I guess many people think that French are a bit stuck up. Think they know everything, know the best. Very anti a lot of things. Let's see how I'm doing in terms of runs. I am at 380 runs. LS is at 315. Oh, it updated, so let me check the updated runs. I am at 322. LS is at 318. Steve Austin at 317, so that's probably a Bundesnoob. Vicky Guerrero, I presume Rissy, is 333. Two Shanks as well, and the leader, the unknown player, is at 334. Both me and who I presume is Rissy have dropped a lot in speed actually. We are both equally slow right now. I'm definitely not going fast, but I'm going at least. That's what matters. I mean that you have to study so much, Bobby. I understand. Yemen is at 62 rounds. That's not too bad. Hello, Chow. Can you speak a little bit German? I don't know any German, so I don't know what to say. I can count to 3. Ein, Schwein, drei. Right? Something like that. I actually have a student at school that moved in from Germany, so I actually have to look up German words quite frequently and such, which is a challenge. Try and translate a bit. That's a good question, Bobby, about Blitz cheaters. We've had some historic Blitz cheaters, but I think Bandai has it under control recently. I also know that the JP community has complained a lot about Blitz cheaters past years. And there hasn't been any complaints openly lately, so I think it's pretty much under control. Have you ever visited the US? Once. I was in New York in my teens or early 20s. I don't remember the exact timing. I can't say it was my greatest memory. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of USA. Like, I like a lot of stuff from the USA, but as a country to live in or be in, I can't say I care too much about it. Nothing personal, but just my preference. Not like I hate America or something like that. I just get frustrated by a lot of the internal politics we always hear about from USA, you know. Like as a Swede, it's hard to understand like the healthcare system in that country, stuff like that. It makes no sense to us. Auto clicker for Blitz? Yeah, probably. Not anymore though. Still camouflaged, nice. Not sure what you mean by that, no name. I'm probably just being dumb though. Hey there, Tatarara. Not yet, we'll see. I'm still going strong. I haven't even had coffee for a while, so we'll see. The goal is to try and be up as long as possible at least. If the body can handle an all-nighter, we'll do that as well. Will be the first time my body ever willingly accepts an all-nighter, but who knows? The funny thing is that I had the worst prep ever for this day. You might remember I said yesterday, if you were around, that we had a super big snowstorm where I live, the biggest of the year. And not only that, it was super cold. When I got here, I had a bit of heating on, but not much. So I had to put it on the max, but it takes time. Like, so when I went to bed, it was still freezing. I had to have multiple stuff on me to even be able to try and sleep and not be too cold. So I didn't sleep as early as I wanted to sleep a bit late to sleep for quite a long time, as much as possible. But I ended up waking up way earlier than I wanted because I was freezing. So I had a worse start to this, but it turns out to have gone well anyway. But we'll see. I know I'm going to get tired at some point, that's for sure. My motivation is also pretty decent right now. I've had a few down periods today in motivation, but right now it's pretty good. Like, the main struggles with going hard in ranking in this game is the struggle with the fatigue and struggle with motivation, and they are of course linked together. So if you're if you're getting fatigued, that's going to really put the motivation in question. Everything that goes against you is like end of the world, basically. No snow in Washington, huh? We actually don't get as much snow in Sweden nowadays. At least compared to what I remember as a kid, but I do live in a bit of warmer place in Sweden now than before. I grew up in Stockholm, so that's a bit higher up in Sweden. Yeah, I can see it being hard. Like, I have some like pre-decided ideas of what to stream. But yeah, you do need some ideas, and I take any good ideas I can get. I think co-op is going to be a good thing to stream. We'll see when it drops how it works, more in detail. But yeah, I feel like most other OPTC content creators mainly stream when it's pulling, which is obviously a good thing to stream. But yeah, I want to try and stream regularly. Once I get back to work, it's going to be my more usual schedule, which will be focused on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, when it makes the most sense for me to stream. I presume one of those will be PvP focused and one will be Grand Voyage, I'd say. And yeah, we'll see about tomorrow. I'm most likely going to stream something, but I have no idea when. One thing to keep in mind for me is that we're going to have a JP Smash tournament starting soonish. Umebura SP10. So that's very exciting for me. So we'll see if I'm up by the time it starts. I've never been around for the beginning of one of those. Oops. I tried to check when the stream starts. Doesn't seem to be any scheduled video yet. But yeah, I love to watch Smash Ultimate, even with its flaws. PKA streams are actually really hard. I've tried it. I'm not a big fan. When I build PKA, I want to do it in my own world, inside my head, basically. If I get a good idea for a particular PKA stream, maybe, but I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like Voyage is great to stream because there is like not the same expectation of getting a result, if that makes sense. You can just test things around. You can go in with a plan. I want to try this. PKA, it's not the same level of difficulty, so you feel a lot of pressure to get results and you don't have unlimited tries, stuff like that, so yeah. I do like PKA a lot though. I'll probably make a video about PKA soon, that it's basically the main content of OPTC now, and without it I'd probably be super down on this game. But thanks to PKA we actually get compelling team building on a regular basis, which is super cool. I still want stuff like Arena as well, but we have what we have. And what we have is definitely better than nothing. Yeah, Yamato versus Luffy 3 is probably going to be rough. I don't see it happening for a while, personally. Yeah, a monthly arena raid is definitely high on my wish list. For now, I'm wishing it at least once every 2 months when we don't have a Grand Voyage. I feel like that's a more realistic expectation than once per month out of nowhere. But yeah, last year we only got like 1 arena, so that's just super sad. Getting some low points right now. Not uncommon for me, this Blitz. I've not been very lucky with drops. Yeah, Yamato just doesn't do a lot for Luffy Tree. Fee and Goyen says, have you finished Loki Season 2? Honestly, I watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not gonna say I got bored, but I don't know. That's one of those shows I feel it's hard to binge them. At least for me. So I might watch a bit more later, but I watched 2 episodes for now. Instead, I actually started watching Ally McBeal, which is super silly to say, but that's like a great show that doesn't require too much thought, that you can just kind of binge casually. So yeah, probably going to watch that a bit more as well. I watched it a bit with my mom before, but it was a long time ago, so I recognize the characters and such, but don't remember anything that happens. Yeah, I can't complain about luck, of course, but I'm just stating fact, my luck hasn't been that good with the drops. Another bad drop. Babi says, think we will get more news about Kizuna playability change this month. Yeah, the update should be this month. The co-op mode and everything will begin, and that should be a part of that update. So, yeah, we should get the Kizuna changes for this month's Kizuna, I presume. And we'll see what that is. Hopefully some insignia changes for beginners. And just better rewards for everybody in general, which is badly needed in Kizuna. Yeah. Like, they can make insignias good for existing players too if they add more to the insignia shop. But they can also add a lot of better stuff in the actual boxes, and especially make box 7 better. Like, there's a lot to improve in Kizuna. I'd also like a Kizuna team builder like for Treasure Map, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening this update. Sounds like we will get Kizuna changes, but it won't be any game-changing ones, which is why I think some reward changes look pretty realistic. Yeah, definitely an update this month for us. We need one for co-op that will start this month, and they've said we're going to get a big update this month, so oh yeah, auto. Yeah, TM is the best mode for rewards. Then probably PKA. It's a lot behind Treasure Map, but PKA did a good job at keeping the point event rewards, which were always good, and adding some goodies on top. I think the goodies on top should be a bit better though. Kisna is basically trash. PvP has the unique tickets at least. But we don't get a lot of them, and if you want more it costs a lot of gems. Yeah. I don't think they will reduce the price of skulls with insignia, because then people who have already purchased get screwed over basically. And I don't trust Bandai to have kept a log on that. But just give us more insignias and there's no problem basically. Shishi Son Son sounds interesting to make block or super block matching. I don't think that will happen, because that's one of the stuff Bandai can do that you always have to deal with. But I'm not going to say it's impossible, and if any legend is going to get the ability like that, it makes sense it is Blackbeard. We currently have 64 people watching. Thank you so much. Do feel free to share how your grind is going yourself. Goffier here is ranked 305. Good job. He's actually going to get a good night of sleep. I'm jealous. Well, it's self-imposed for me, so. Goffier, my advice for top 500, definitely get some sleep, but just try and play as much as you can when you're awake. You shouldn't feel like you have to get top 500 though. Top 1000 is also perfectly fine, but it's up to you in the end. Are you 21st lyric? That's very high. Let's see. Yeah, I see you there. Very good job, Lyric. That's quite a grind you've done. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could do. Jefferson with Kisuna. Not sure about adding posters in Kisuna. I wouldn't say no. I just don't think it's likely to happen. Yeah, that's a tough battle, Bobby. I hope you have full batch, otherwise that's going to be a nightmare. Probably a nightmare even with the batch. Yeah, top 3k is respectable. Honestly, if I didn't have most of the batch, I'd just settle for top. Not even any specific ranking, I just go for shopping missions really. I did that for half Annie. Yeah, good luck Lyric. I think 700 runs will be too little sadly. But top 100 is basically just as good, so I'd aim for top 100 is my personal advice. Jefferson says, how many hours have you been awake so far? I woke up like at 6 a.m, which was way too early. I wanted to sleep like 8 a.m, so 2 hours too little. Which means I've been up for 19 hours. Something like that. No. What's... No? Okay, it's fair. 19-20 hours. Hello there, Victor. That's two of the most common questions I get, but sure. I'm from Sweden, and my main job is a teacher. So OPTC is just a hobby. There's some people who actually think OPTC is my job, and they must really overestimate how much money you get from YouTube. It's not like I don't get any money, but the money I get from YouTube pales in comparison to my teacher salary, which is not big by any means, by Swedish standards. I'm sure in many countries it will be a very good paycheck per month. But you have to remember that Sweden has higher expenses. My main positive personal is that I don't have a lot of expenses. Not much rent to pay, no other real bills since I still live at home. I have no rush to move. Like if I have a priority in life, like first it was getting a job, that's done. Next step for me is basically to meet someone, and after that I can consider finding a place. But until then, I see no reason for doing that. What do you teach? My education is for the early grades of school, so grades 1 to 3. My logic when I went for that education is that I know those are the formative years, and if you mess up then, it's really hard to course correct later, so I wanted to like help kids get a solid start and that they have what they need for the future. But I've actually never worked with that. My first job as a teacher that I have now is with special needs kids who are a bit older than that. But the positive is that the classes are a lot smaller, which probably fits me better anyway. So I really like my job. The workplace is great. Everybody working there are very passionate. The principals are great. Only complaint is probably the pay, but that's basically what you sign up for as a teacher. But yeah, the best part of being a teacher is that you have the same holidays that you had as a kid. And those are like ingrained in my mind, like the summer holiday, the autumn holiday, Christmas holiday, Easter holiday. We have something called sport holiday in Sweden as well, which is in like February. And I actually have all of those, so it's pretty insane. So I have a lot more days without work compared to other professions. It's just that my work week is more hours than other jobs. Even if a lot of those hours are up to me to decide how to use. How is my alliance going? Let's take a look. I can check my own ranking as well. In the global ranking, I'm still 5th. I've got a bit closer to Wiki Guerrero, but not that much. Two Shanks has jumped ahead of me a bit again. The Korean guy has over 100,000 points more than me, which is pretty crazy. LS caught up a bit. I thought that he had taken a break or something, but I guess he got bad luck and now he got some good luck and caught up pretty fast. Steve Austin from AF, I presume it's Bundesnoob, has also caught up right behind me. And then there's some Korean as well. Worldwide ranking, I'm 9th. So I'm a bit in danger here, of course, since both LS and Steve Austin are right behind me. So I'll probably be 11th pretty soon. And obviously we talked about motivation. If I drop out of top 10 at this point, when I'm soon getting tired and such, that will be a huge blow for me personally, of course. As for alliance ranking, AF have started to pull away from us again. We're over 1 million points behind now. It is going to be hard to beat AF. But the goal for my alliance is top 3, so we're doing that easily right now. I don't care about alliance goals personally though. For me, this is a single player game. Jefferson, yes, we have Christmas holidays right now. School starts again on Tuesday for me. But I have work on Monday as well. Uh, 30k points, well, you know what you can aim for, Galahad. I do recommend trying to get 50k, but if you can't, you can't. Not much to do about it. Good drops this run. Okay. I've been live for 2.5 hours or so. I think I'm aiming for this stream to be 3 hours. Then I'm going to not stream anymore for quite some time. I'll probably get some sleep as well before the next stream, but as said, that depends on my body. If it forces me to sleep, I will oblige, so to say. I just heard some sound from the apartment, which worries me greatly because we've had some mice issues here recently. So I definitely don't want any F-in mouses here. So I hope that was nothing. Oh, thank you, Rected. We'll see how it goes. Honestly, right now, it's looking like I am, I guess, top 10 worldwide, but it's looking bleak right now. I think it will be rough for me, but I have committed to going until the evening tomorrow, with probably some sleep in between, and then we'll decide what the final goal is. The Sweden schools have 2 weeks off during this time of year, like in the US. A little bit more than 2 weeks, but not that much more. The sound stops. I hope it was just my imagination. I don't want to deal with mice. Sleep? We'll see when I sleep. I'll sleep if I have to. Right now, I feel like I can be up for a bit longer. Even if I won't stream that much more. Shogun, I definitely recommend going for 50k if you can to get that final tap tablet and the other goodies. But in the end, of course, it's your decision, but I do encourage that if you can. You definitely don't need to do more than 50k. And there's that noise again. My heart like stops every time I hear something. Oh, that must be nice, Bobby, to get that much of resting. I've only actually had one mouse encounter, but I'm not sure if I was mistaken or not, because the mouse just disappeared after when I thought I saw it. But yeah, we definitely had mouse traces when I've come to visit and stuff. But I'm doing my best to try and keep it clean here. But speaking of that, I think I made it perfectly clean after I made my food earlier. So I probably need to clean up a bit. Don't want any incentives for those efforts to get in here. Okordon, no rush to max bullet, but he's not bad for sure. Something to max long term. He's good, especially with level limit break. Israel is ready for an all-nighter. I very much doubt I can do an all-nighter. We'll see how long I end up playing. But if I sleep, it won't be that much. Nothing to wake me up like mouse paranoia. I'm like on full throttle right now. Yeah, I'm looking worried. I'm hearing noises. I am thinking it might be mouses. A mouse, I should say. Let me investigate a bit. I don't want to do this, but... Okay. I'm not sure, honestly. There's actually quite a bit of wind outside now, so it might be that. That's what I'm hoping. After this stream, though, I'm going to put on the TV, even if I'm maybe not watching myself here, just to have some sounds going. Need to remove these mono orbs. Yeah, I keep hearing sounds, but like I'm not sure if it is the wind or if it is a mouse or something. The main cause of concern is that the sounds are coming from like the main place you'd expect mouse to enter from. That's basically the main reason. But yeah, I need to make sure I clean up there a bit. Bad wives might actually help, since it got me on my nerves. It really woke me up. But yeah, I think this is the last run I'll do. I want to get rid of... I want to clean up a bit. And do that prep. But yeah, I enjoyed this stream at least. Yeah, it can be a mouse. Can't rule it out. I'm paranoid right now, so I want to do everything I can to prevent it at least. Yeah, I will most likely get some rest eventually. We'll see when. I'm planning to watch some more series. I'm planning to do some reading, maybe watch some YouTube. And then we'll see how long I last. Yeah, we'll see. Well, once I leave this room, which is the main concern for mouse, I don't have to worry the same way, since I won't have a direct encounter. But yeah, I think I'll end the stream there. We ended with a pretty good drop. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.